On another chilly evening, and man, it was cold again last night. Look at these low temperatures. Anago, it was almost 30 below. These aren't wind chills. That was the actual temperature last night. 15 below in Green Bay, 10 below in Oshkosh. I can just hear our heating bills getting closer and closer. And look at this again. It's very cold out. 1 below currently in Green Bay. Luckily, the winds are a little bit less. But remember, when it's this cold, it really doesn't take much of a wind to give you a wind chill. So wind chill not bad, at least in Green Bay. There are parts where we still have a bit of a wind chill. I'll get to that in a second. But currently, this is the temperature in Manitowoc, 2 below. So most of us on this map, a little bit below 0, but it's 0 in Fond du Lac currently. Same with Clintonville and Kewaunee right now. Same with Menominee. But let's factor in the winds. Again, there's not a lot of wind, and we're going to make that wind light as we go through the night tonight and into tomorrow morning. But we still have a wind chill of what feels like 16 below in Appleton, 0 in Clintonville, 12 below in Wapaka. We're making progress. We'll call it baby steps, but still, this is pretty chilly. Now, as we head through the overnight going into tomorrow morning, you see the forecast wind chills in the single digits to single digits below 0. Luckily, tomorrow, there's not going to be a lot of wind, but there is a little hiccup with tomorrow. Some snow. It will be light. I'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about that air mass because that's been the big story, right? The cold. And look at it. It's all around us. Today's high temperature in Minneapolis, 5. 11 in St. Louis. Now, here's the thing about tomorrow. As we go through the day, we're bringing our air out of the south. You're like, oh, great. Make it to 11. Yes. 11 degrees for our high temperature tomorrow. So it's a little bit of progress, but unfortunately, as we go through the next week, we don't make much progress on the temperatures. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, it's that polar high pressure still in charge of our pattern, but you see this weak little system off to the west. It's going to be moving our way for tomorrow, but it starts to weaken the way it looks like right now as it starts to approach us. That's fine, but that also means a nuisance snow on the way again. Here's a skycast going through the day tomorrow. Right now, it looks like a lot of your morning all right. By the way, notice this over Lake Michigan. We have to see how that starts to affect Door County, Kewaunee. Could bring you a couple little higher totals there, but the rest of us in the afternoon, mainly going into the evening, you see just some light snow working its way on through. And as the evening goes on, that moves on out. And then Friday, we're quiet once again. Now, let's take a closer look at this on Skycast. Tonight, we don't have to worry about anything in the way of snowfall, just the clouds slowly on the increase, and our temperatures start to creep up a little bit overnight, but still a cold night. Here we are going through the day tomorrow as the afternoon wears on into the evening, that light round of snow moving on through, and right now it really does look light. So for the afternoon and evening hours, right now, only a trace to up to an inch. There may be just a little bit more if the lake gets involved here for Door, Kewaunee, maybe parts of Manitowoc County. But either way, it's not a lot of snow, but it's still going to be cold, so the salt's really not going to be working that quickly. So the rest of your night tonight, yep, it's another cold night, 12 below, but less wind. Again, I said baby steps. For tomorrow, 11, but that light snow develops mainly in the afternoon. And out of all of this, into the evening hours, only a trace to up to an inch the way it looks right now. Maybe a little bit more next to Lake Michigan. Friday, a whopping 8. And it's going to be a little bit blustery, Friday and Saturday. Sunday, 10 degrees. There's the new year. You'd think we'd make some progress. Absolutely not. Regina, look at all of the low temperatures below 0 out
It's
here.
just beautiful. I wish, it's just so beautiful.
It sure is. If you wanted winter, you got winter.
I wish we were making toddler steps, not baby steps, but
Yeah, I know
okay.
the better steps, but we're not making any progress.
All right, Fish, thanks for
Yep.
that.